Hey everyone, my name is Jinx, and today I'm going to be showing off the Fatigue Rhinar Romping Club deck that I've been working on for a little bit. I call it the Green Guardian Blocking Simulator. Your locals are going to love it. I'm planning on going super in-depth in this video, similar to how I did with my first Vincent deck from the Calling. This is a deck that I haven't seen anyone really talking about, but I think it's super powerful. There was a little bit of murmur with Carlos GG on Discord. He had a CYB Romping Club list back when CYB was legal, and that was getting a little bit of traction, and then of course CYB got banned and people thought that it was dead, but I'm here to tell you that it is not dead. This deck is very well positioned into Gravy Bones. I have a 100% win rate into Gravy Bones. I have no idea how they win that matchup. I have a really strong Florian matchup, a strong Verdance matchup, good Ranger matchups. It's very good into all the other Fatigue decks. So I think this is super powerful in this meta. So what is this deck? What is it trying to do? Well, it's trying to play very similarly to how a Guardian would. It's trying to block super efficiently and swing its hammer. In this case, it's a club, trying to send its Romping Club for 4 every turn and get a ton of value from the weapon. I'm trying to fatigue in almost every matchup. Into aggro decks, I'm trying to win by attrition and powerful disruption like CNC Pummel, but that can sometimes lead into attrition. If you get them down to 1, you send a Romping Club for 4 every turn, they have to give you 2 cards. It's not really fatigue, but they're going to run out of cards. But in almost every other matchup, I just straight fatigue them. I'm going to run them out of cards in every single game. It's aiming to get more value out of pitching cards rather than sending cards to graveyard, kind of like a card for card philosophy. Playing or blocking with less cards in favor of pitching to club gives a higher amount of deck value, and that's something that we care about more. I would generally rather pitch to swing club than I would to pitch to send a 6 attack. I'm trying to get overall more numbers out of each card as well, to try and keep a higher amount of deck value. Think playing on a movable from Arsenal rather than from hand. I would rather play it from Arsenal because that gives me +1 deck value. Now you might be asking, why Rhinar? Why wouldn't I play something like Bravo, or Victor, or Jarl, or some of these other traditional Fatigue decks? The first reason is Romping Club. Romping Club is really good. It beats out a ton of the current meta decks. It beats out Titan's Fist, Reaping Blade, Mandible Claw, Tecloplasma Pistol, all of these things. Romping Club just attacks for 1 more point of damage, and that means that every time I swing it, I'm getting +1 deck value over the other heroes that are playing weapons like these. There are only 4 weapons in the game that have more repeatable deck damage from their weapon, and that is Decimator Great Axe, Anathos, Summit, and Sledge of Anvilheim. However, Romping Club does have a few points in its favor against those weapons as well. Romping Club costs 2. Those other decks need to run 30 to 40 blues in order to consistently swing their weapon. With Romping Club, I can run way less blues and run more yellows, which means that if I'm not caring much about my resource costs, like I don't care if something is a blue or a yellow, I get to run more yellows, which are generally better cards. Think if you're building a Jarl deck and you don't care about resources, you would rather run yellow Fruits of the Forest than blue Fruits of the Forest. It's just +1 value. I get to run cards like Midas's Touch, Remembrance, That All You Got, and not really get penalized if I can't use them at that turn. Additionally, Barraging Beatdown. Barraging Beatdown is a great tool for this deck. Even if I'm playing against a hero that is running Sledge or Summit, and they're swinging it every turn and they're trying to fatigue me, what I can always do is I can pitch stack Barraging Beatdowns, and then eventually I'll be able to play 4 of them, swing my club, for a minimum of 13 damage that they can't block unless they have a D-React in Arsenal. So being able to pitch these and get into the late game with a plan into fatigue is super helpful. Guardians don't really have that kind of end game that they can play towards, at least not as consistently, I guess. Additionally, Barraging Beatdown Red is basically swing big copies 4 through 6 into aggro decks. You just play it, pitch a yellow, and then swing your club for 8. They're not going to block it. It's swing big with no downsides, and you also get to intimidate them. It's great. Into Wizards, Barraging Beatdown provides some support into that matchup that a lot of Guardians don't. Guardians will have to kind of pray that they're going to see Zealous Velteen into like Golden Sun or some other big attack pretty much every turn in order to have a chance at beating Kano. However, with Rhinar, I can play pretty normally, swing club, block all their arcane, and then wait until I have 3 sources of Intimidate, play Barraging Beatdown, and as soon as they see the Barraging Beatdown, they have to respond and go off then and there, or decide to just let it play out and wait. And by making it so that they have to respond then and there, means that I still have more cards in hand to defend if they do decide to combo off. If they don't combo off, play the second one, they have to decide again, you still have 2 cards left in hand. And then if you play the third one because they didn't go off, they're definitely taking damage, and you have some gameplay into there. This deck isn't great into Kano, but Barraging Beatdown makes it so that you actually have a lot more outs than these other decks would. Additionally, for more wizard hate, we have Item Destruction. Item Destruction is already just good in this meta. I mean, look at all of the gold that pirates are throwing around. If I run into a original dash that's running all of the pistol items, then Arc Smash comes in and it just means you're not going to have a better weapon than I am. Bam Bam as well is another source of Item Destruction. But into the wizards, especially Verdants, this means that we won't ever really lose to Verdants. Traditionally, how Verdants would win is they play out all their potions, they get their combo ready, and then they pop all their potions and then kill you. Arc Smash just says, I'm going to get rid of those potions. Lamau, I can also remember them all back. I can put them in Arsenal. I get to choose them. So they're never really going to be fully set up for their combo. They don't have a weapon. They're never going to actually fatigue you, obviously. We're running AB3, we're running Sigils, we're running lots of blues, we're running Oasis Respites. So we just block all of their damage, make it so that they have a higher combo threshold to get through, and make it so that they don't have the healing pots to break through that threshold anyways. So all of those other Guardians can't really deal with that. Last reason that Rhinar is better than Guardians is your opponent is probably going to sideboard incorrectly. Rhinar is definitely known to be a lot more aggressive. I personally think the tank version is a little bit better, but people expect him to be aggressive, playing things like Wild Rides, Pulpings. They're not going to expect it to be a fatigue deck. So you can get some extra points by your opponent being a little thrown off guard or not having the right cards to deal with you in this matchup. Maybe they decide and hold the line, and now that's just a 2-block because you're never drawing 2 cards. I will also add, you could just copy-paste this deck into a Leviathan list with Soul Harvest? I think it's Soul Harvest, another blue 6 in the deck, and have a stronger effect of this because Leviathan is definitely going to be playing aggressive. She's definitely not known to be a defensive hero like Rhinar sometimes is. The one downside that you do lose with that is Bam Bam. Bam Bam, instant discard, does represent 1 more Intimidate in those endgame scenarios with like the quad Intimidate to beat Fatigue. So there is a reason to play Rhinar instead of Leviathan, and I like Rhinar. Rhinar's my favorite, so I'm going to keep playing it in Rhinar. But again, you could add 1 more blue 6 to the deck by turning it into a Leviathan deck. So why should you take this to an event? Again, you have a free matchup into Gravy, Florian, and Verdance. Those are 3 of probably the top decks. Even if they're not top decks, we all know that Gravy is going to be super represented. He's super popular. He's a ton of fun to play. I even tried to like build a deck for him, but then I went, why would I play this when I could beat it? Florian, also probably still best deck in format, and I think it's free. Reaping Blade attacks for 3, Romping Club attacks for 4. They're never really comboing, I guess. I guess they could stack, but that's kind of dead with Germinate being gone, as well as Scepter. So I haven't had any problems with Florian. Verdance, like I said, you'll fatigue her every time. Just destroy the healing pots. Don't leak bad damage. Pretty easy. You also have a strong matchup into the fatigue decks, like I was talking about with the Barraging Beatdowns. And I think Rangers are pretty favored. Azalea, I think, is a lot easier than Marilyn, but Marilyn, I've had a pretty favorable experience into Marilyn recently. And Riptide is easy. You just swing Romping Club. Their traps never trigger. You also have lots of tools. Theoretically, no matchup should be unwinnable. As long as you have the reps, you should be able to make some sort of game plan where you come out ahead. Okay, so now that I've kind of explained why you should play this and some of the game plans, we're going to jump right into the deck, and I'll explain all of my card choices. This isn't a refined list, but this is what I've been working with recently. Okay, so onto the deck, I'm going to start with my equipment, and then I'll move on to the main board, and then into the sideboard. First off, with Scabskin Leathers, I really only have these in because they're battle worn too. That's another point for having Brute as the fatigue deck. Brute has just insane armor. Battle worn 2, temper 2, block 2 with probably 5 points of value. I could even run more temper 2 in my chest piece, but I'll talk about why I'm not doing that in a minute. Scabskin Leathers, it's just really good blocking value. I'm not really ever rolling for it, but I do like the ability that I have the opportunity to every once in a while. Sometimes if I'm behind, I can roll Scabskins, and then if I hit, pitch a blue, swing club, tunic, and then into CNC or like Pack Hunt or something, and then boom, that's a 2-card 10. Super, super powerful. But generally, this is not a deck that wants to roll often. The other temper 2 equipment is Apex Bonebreaker. Again, it's mainly in here just for the temper 2. Sometimes you really care about the might token. You're obviously always trying to get it, but I'm never really making a point out of it to be like, oh, I see CNC and a 6 in my hand, I'm just going to use Apex Bonebreaker for value. I'm always just trying to stop it with on hits. If I don't get to use the might, it's kind of whatever. Onto the hat, it's Scowling Fleshbag. No reason to really run any other headpiece except for AB. Blocks 2, that's already just really good. On top of that, it can stop chain enders, it can stop pummels, and its existence just means that your opponent kind of has to play suboptimally for like as long as it's on the field. Yeah, it doesn't really need much of an introduction. If you played Brute at all, you know how powerful this card is. Its usage doesn't really change in this deck. Vindel Spring Tunic. Less so, why am I putting it in this deck? Everyone knows why Spring Tunic is good. I'm running like Oasis Respites in the sideboard. I'm running pummels. It's just good overall. But I'm not running Savage Sash just because there's not really any way for me to use that extra resource. I would rather have Vindels to repeatedly be able to get me out of awkward situations. Like if I draw all reds, I can pitch a red and I can activate Tunic to just convert that hand into 4 damage. It still blocks 1, which is nice. It can CNC Pummel, it can Oasis Respite, it can just fix any sort of weird, awkward resource situation that I have. So I like Tunic, it's nice. In the sideboard, I'm only running 2 pieces of equipment. It gives me AB3, I'll run gloves. It might actually be correct to run this in the leg slot instead, considering Auxilio and Verdance are the main wizards right now, and you can get value off of your Apex Bonebreaker. But currently, I do think that having the option to roll, especially into Kano, is probably pretty valuable. Skullhorn, never using that ability. It's just Arcane Barrier 2. I will note that I am running this into Florian. Into Florian, I'm not really getting a ton of opportunities where Scowling Fleshbag is doing a lot. However, Skullhorn will make it so that whenever they play Channel a Millennium Tree, they aren't getting actual damage off of it because I just AB 3 of it. Yeah, again, never using its ability, AB 3 is good. Okay, so instead of starting at the top with these barraging beatdowns, I instead want to start with Dig Up Dinner because it really helps demonstrate what I mean by deck value. And Dig Up Dinner is probably the best card for deck value. So when you play Dig Up Dinner, just hitting 1/6 is really, really, really powerful. While you aren't getting additional value or like crazy value plays out of your turn-to-turn cycle, like it might become kind of abysmal of like you're just pitching this and then sending your Romping Club for 4, so you only had 5 value off of 2 cards. However, when you play Dig Up Dinner, if you hit 1 card, you have replaced that card in your deck and you have gained 1 free life. So that's 1 free value added to your deck at the cost of 0 cards in deck. It's as if you started with a 41 health hero, and you got 3 of these. It goes up exponentially. If you hit 2, you've gained 2 life, and you've gained 3 more life by having 1 more 3 block in your deck. I don't think there's any 6 in here that doesn't block for 3. Same with if you hit 3. I will say this deck is really, really light on 6s. There is going to be certain points where you don't hit a 6 on these, and that's okay. It's not really a huge detriment. I think just the opportunity to hit 1/6 makes this a very, very good card. Also, it's blue and it blocks 3, but into the fatigue scenarios where I am definitely trying to fatigue my opponent, I'm trying my darndest not to pitch this, not to block with this. I always want to pitch it or I want to play it. But yeah, going back up to the top, talked about Barraging Beatdown already. I am running 9 of them because it's just such a good card. I'm trying not to block with these as much as I can, even the red ones. If I'm able to overpitch this to play something or put it on the bottom with a sink, that's my main goal whenever I see them. Just trying to keep them in deck. Aside from in the aggro matchups, obviously, if you see this, just play it as a swing big or block with it. You're not going to have to do the crazy pitch stack quad intimidate thing into aggro decks. Command and Conquer, great card. This is probably one of the only cards in my deck that I will just play on offense because it will always demand a card. If I am playing this, I am losing a card, and so is my opponent, so we're at the same card for card kind of mentality. But I'm sending 6 damage, so if they block all of it, then I'm 1 card ahead. If they take it, I'm 6 life ahead. It's always a win whenever I play this, but I'm not always going out of my way to play it in those fatigue scenarios. Sometimes it is just best to block with it. I will also add, with Dig Up Dinner, having Dig Up Dinner in my deck means that I am always going to be trying to block with attacks rather than pitch attacks if I have the option between, like, let's see, like blocking with a standing order versus blocking with a CNC. I would rather block with a CNC because I know that later I can Dig Up Dinner that CNC back into the deck. Again, since I'm so low on 6 attacks, I want to make sure that I have as many as I can in my deck. E-Strike, just a great card. It's super flexible, especially into the Gravy matchup. It means that you can double clear allies, you can clear whalers, you can sometimes do Scabskins plays with this if you need to have the extra tempo. It's just an all-around good card. It blocks 3, it does the things you need it to do. Only bad thing is it's red, but whatever. Pack Hunt, this is another thing that goes in with my Barraging Beatdowns in those late game scenarios. It's also a 6, it's good for the ratios, but like pitching this so that later you can Barrage and Beatdown it, it basically means that you have more copies of Barrage and Beatdown. Again, blocks for 3, it's a 6, 2 for 6, so you can pitch a yellow to it. It's a good card. Maybe I could cut one of them, but I think 3 is fine. I like block 3s. Shelter from the Storm and Sink Below don't really need any sort of introduction. I guess Shelter from the Storm is just really good into like assassins and those small attack heroes, so I would definitely run this over other D-Reacts first, but I am running 2 Fates on the side. Sigil of Solace. I will say Sigil of Solace is my favorite card in the deck. It is always going to get 3 value, as opposed to 3 block cards where maybe they're setting 5 and you put 2 3 blocks in front of it. One of those 3 blocks only got 2 value, whereas if you blocked 3 and then played the Sigil, you're always getting that 6 value. It's really good into those Kodachi small attack decks, similar to how Shelter from the Storm is. It gets around Dominate, it gets around Overpower, it lets you take advantage of having more cards in hand by just saying, I have 3 more life now, try and chew through that. You can put it in Arsenal, and you will never get punished for it. It can dodge a CNC. It's so good. I will also add, it's not really that bad against Florian, even though he's running Reaping Blade, because you're generally going to be at parity unless you're just winning really hard. But you're generally going to be at parity, and you can make some plays that make it so that you can take damage and then play the Sigil of Solace, go back up, and then get some value on your blocks. So Sigil is just good into every matchup. And also if Florian plays like a Felling of the Crown, you can just put the Sigil on the bottom of your deck anyways. Sink Below I already talked about. Standing Order. Standing Order is also very good. There are some scenarios where A lot of the time you don't want to put anything in Arsenal if you don't want to actively clear it or have trouble clearing it. So like you're always going to be wanting to put sigils, shelters, sinks, those kinds of things in Arsenal. But sometimes you'll get forced into a scenario where maybe you have to put a Bam Bam in Arsenal. Standing order means that you can put Bam Bam in your Arsenal and you won't get punished for it, because eventually you will draw that standing order and you can clear it without playing it. So that's very, very nice. It's also a good codex target. Again, sometimes your opponent will codex and you'll have to put in like send packing, swing big, any of these, and that forces you to keep a yellow in order to clear your arsenal. If you get standing order, you just bring it back, and then you're able to clear it immediately. It also means that if you see codex before you see your standing orders, that means that if you see one of these guys, you can standing order, put that on the bottom of your deck. Also, in those fatigue scenarios, when we were talking about getting the most value out of all your cards, getting 5 block value out of a single attack card is very, very powerful. It also doubles as a popper into like Prism and all of that. I haven't tested much into Prism, but I'm sure that's probably slightly relevant. Swing Big. James White said this card was a mistake. It is. It's just a tempo nightmare. It's a ton of value on a single card. A yellow for 8 damage is just really good. I will say, do not run this into Vinset ever, you can run this into Vinset. Don't ever play this into Vinset, because they will just block out, get a Quicken token, and boom, you basically just gave them +1 intellect. But yeah, Swing Big, great card, wouldn't ever cut it. Ratios, 3 block, easy to cast, lots of damage, great into aggro decks. Love this card. Going on to Bam Bam, talked about it earlier. It's item destruction. Also, discarding it at instant speed means that you get club up to a 5 with an on-hit at reaction speed, and that means that reactions can't cover it. So if you need to catch someone by surprise, say like you're attacking the Verdants for 4, and they say no blocks, you can discard Bam Bam and maybe get rid of their healing pot if you don't have Arc Smashes online yet. Pitching it also means that it can double as a Barrage and Beatdown to try and get up to that 4 Intimidates threshold. It's a 6 attack, it pitches yellow, it blocks 3. This card is really, really good. It is really overhated. I cannot overstate how overhated this card is. I've really enjoyed my time playing with it. There's also the other thing of like, it's really hard to get good yellow 6s as well. Like we were playing Smash Instinct yellow a while back. I think this is just kind of better than Smash Instinct in a lot of scenarios. Send Packing, another yellow 6/3 block that I was talking about. That's very, very good. Good for your ratios. Converts into club. It's very, very good into aggro decks. Obviously, CNC is just good into aggro decks in general. But Send Packing, I will say, is especially good into Maryland, because Maryland struggles to load. If you're able to Send Packing their arsenal, it's a lot harder for them to load it, and it can be a lot more awkward for them, even if they do get the card back. So again, this card, great. I love it. Already talked about Dig Up Dinner. I have Heart of Findall in here. I will say you do not need to have Heart of Findall in here. It's not a must run, but it isn't a card that's just like, hee, I'll put it in here and it'll do a thing every once in a while. I'm consistently gaining about 1 to 2, maybe 3 life at least in about every game that I'm taking to Fatigue. And just having a single blue in your deck that gives you 3 more deck value is just very, very powerful in this deck. I really like it a lot. But again, if you don't need it, just put in really any other 3-block blue, or maybe like a Hold the Line, maybe another 6 or something. But yeah, I like Heart of Findall. It does do a thing in this deck, unlike some other decks where it doesn't. I am also running 2 Hold the Lines. I'm not running 3 because it is a 2-block, and I don't like having a ton of 2 blocks on my deck. But Hold the Line is getting triggered a lot in this meta. 3 of a Kind, Gravies, Kraken Golds. Same with the Puffins, Kraken Golds, and Crankin' and all the things. Blood Rush is still a card that exists. So you will get scenarios where Hold the Line will actually get its ability, but even when it doesn't, it is a reaction on a blue. So into like Assassins or Dorinthia, you can still use this just as a reaction, which is very valuable. And it's a blue, again. It also helps you get around Overpower and Dominate, which is very important into the Rangers. I love this card. Ripple Away, very good in this meta as well. It helps you in your Puffin matchup. If they play like Goldwing Turbine, Cog in the Machine, or Cogworks Workshop, those cards don't have Go Again, but they create the Golden Cog that they can crank and get Go Again from. So sometimes in the Puffin matchup, you can see them play that card, discard Ripple Away, and boom, their turn is over. They used one card, you used one card, you're not losing in the Fatigue sense either, which is a little bit of a concern for me in that matchup when they have like Cog in the Machine. They do have a weapon that attacks for 3 every turn. But again, Romping Club still attacks for 4. Ripple Away is just overall very good. It gets rid of gold tokens from like Loan Shark. It gets rid of like Rune Chance. It's a very, very good card in general. It gets rid of like Codex tokens. I also am running This Round's on Me. It's a blue 3-block. It has some extra utility into the aggressive decks. I think I have not casted this card once in my like 20 games of playing this deck. But again, blue 3-block. I think it's good into the aggressive decks. I haven't tested that matchup a ton. You could probably replace this with any other blue 3-block, or maybe add another one and see if that does anything. Yeah, that's all the stats I'm looking for. Warmongers, same thing. Blue 3-block. However, it's very, very, very good into Azalea, into Florian. You can, whenever they play their Channel the Millennium Tree, you can play this down, and it means that they won't get any value off of Channel that turn. It's good into Gravy. They can't play an ally and attack with it in the same turn. But yeah, there's a low opportunity cost to include it in your deck. You don't really care about choosing Peace in a lot of matchups. But yeah, it has a good baseline. Wrecker Rump, this is here just for ratios. It is the only blue 6, and it blocks 3, so it's good for Dig Up Dinner and all of that jazz. I am never casting this. Moving on to the sideboard, a lot of these are coming in anyways. I don't think there's a single matchup where I'm not running Pummel, but I'll get into that in a minute. I'm running 2 more Fate for Scenes, just very good into Rangers, good into Fatigue, just having a more deck value, good into aggressive decks, obviously not good into Wizards. I won't run these into them. It's just a good card. Fiddler's Green. Fiddler's Green was a late inclusion that I had, but I'm mainly running it into, obviously, Fatigue decks because I'm fat decking into Fatigue decks, but I'm mainly running it into Marilyn. This gets around Overpower, and it's basically a 4th copy of Sigil. I won't run it into things like Azalea, because into Azalea it's hard to get value out of this the same way that you would into Marilyn. But I think it's an overall good card, but I'm not using it in a lot of matchups. But it's very, very good into Marilyn, as well as the Fatigue decks. I love my Sigil of Solaces. I am running 3 Oasis Respites. This is very good into Kano, obviously. This is good into anything dealing arcane damage, because you can pitch to arcane damage and then use the 1 floating to cast Oasis Respite. I think I would run it into aggressive decks as well. Just wait for the Tunic counter to play it. Also having the extra life gain, I'm usually trying to get that extra life gain as well. But this deck uses Oasis Respite very well. It also means, since it's a one cost, whenever you see this alongside a red barraging, it's a lot easier to pitch the red barraging to the bottom of the deck. Very important into Marilyn, very important into Azalea. Again, good into Fatigue. I'm also running 3 Pummels. 3 Pummels is how you beat any of the aggro decks. You pummel CNC your opponent, and that's how you win. Additionally, I will run it into Fatigue just for 4 more deck value, and into Marilyn, it gets around Overpower as well. I'm happy with this in a lot of matchups. It's very rare that I'm taking this out. Unmovable. You can see a lot of my sideboard space was used for Marilyn and Azalea, so these are very good into Marilyn and Azalea. It's good into the Guardians, the Fatigue matchup as well. 8 more deck value, gets around Dominate, gets around Overpower. All very, very good. I talked about Art Smash earlier, mainly for Wizards. All fat deck it. I'll run it into any of the Pirates as well, just to maybe help them low roll with their gold tokens. being a yellow 3 block, it's a low opportunity cost to include it in my deck, so I'm running it a lot of the time. I'm not running Midas's Touch as often. It's the most premium arsenal slot into Gravy. However, I don't know that it is needed for Gravy. I've had this in the deck. I had 2, I cut down to 1, and I'm still winning every single game. I don't know how they win that matchup, so maybe it is worth it to just cut this for maybe those quick dodge flexors like I was talking about earlier, or really any other maybe board card. But it's very good. This is the number 1 most valuable arsenal slot into Gravy Bones. I'm running Remembrance, mainly just for fatigue. I don't think there's any other scenarios where I would run it, but whenever I play Remembrance, I am trying to target non-6s, specifically barraging beatdowns if I was forced to block with them, or things like E-strikes. Mainly, I am trying to clear my graveyard so that I have more chances of hitting with Dig Up Dinner. It doesn't really matter what I grab, because a lot of the time that just represents 3 more 3 blocks in my deck. But yeah, Remembrance, it's also yellow, which means that it's a lot easier to get rid of if you draw it early game. But yeah, that all you got. Gets around Overpower, good into those small decks that are running those super small attacks. It's a reaction, it's a yellow, it can be pitched into Romping Club. Great card all around. Thick Hide Hunter. I am a little torn on this card. I think it's very, very powerful into those tall decks like Brutes, Azalea, Marilyn, because you can block with your entire hand and then also block with this, and boom, you're blocking 15 without actually having to discard a card. However, Thick Hide Hunter does get very awkward when you have reactions in your hand as well, because Thick Hide Hunter will discard a card before you have the opportunity to react. And that kind of forces you into keeping it to pitch. So I'm not sure how I feel about this card. It still is undeniably very good into Overpower because it is just an action that blocks for 6 instead of 3. But yeah, that is it for the deck. I'll start talking about some of my game plans into the top meta. Okay, so I haven't done a ton of testing. I'm not really testing into like new in particular because I'm not sure if new is going to be around by the time that I'm playing in like RTNs. But I have organized this into a tier list of how excited I am to play against this hero. Like, do I want to play 6 rounds against this hero because I think I'll go 3-0. S tier being the most easy heroes. I am guessing on some of them. I haven't tested into everything, but I can kind of guess how some things will go. Bexy. But yeah, I will start at the top with Gravy Bones. This is the main reason you want to take this deck to an event. You want to be targeting Gravy Bones. Romping Club attacking for 4 at base means that it kills most of their allies in 1. Barraging Beatdown is a really easy thing to put in your arsenal to mean that you can hit like a Chum or a Whaler and kill it in one go. Midas Touch as well, Enlightened Strike. Into Gravy Bones, what your game plan is to try and not leak any damage at all. You're not trying to ever take damage with the intention of swinging Romping Club at face. You're really only ever taking damage if it means swinging Romping Club to kill an ally. That also means that if you stop all of their damage, even if they set up some crazy Giga combo with like Time Snaps and Energy Potions that you somehow didn't clear with Arc Smash, and they somehow like swing Whaler twice in a turn, I don't even know how they would do that. If they happen to be able to do that, you can still take all of it, go down to 18, and then double kill their Whalers with like the Midas Touch that you put in Arsenal, or the E-Strike that you have. I have no idea how Gravy Bones wins this matchup, but your overall game plan is always put something in Arsenal that gets rid of allies. If you don't have that, then put something that's easily taken out of Arsenal, like a D-React or a Sigil, and whenever there's an ally on the board, you clear it immediately. Priority list of killing things, I think Sawbones is probably at the top of that list. Sawbones can make it so that they are able to keep other allies longer, and that's the antithesis of what we're trying to do in this deck. So as soon as you see a Sawbones, that's usually the first thing you'll ever need to hit. Obviously, there are some exceptions. Threat assessment is key. But on top of that, you want to get rid of Anka and Chum ASAP because those are free discard outlets for them to get rid of their allies, and you just don't want those sitting around for too long. Whaler, obviously, you want to get rid of immediately if they play that out. Then it would be like Limpet and any other allies that are giving more value without expending an action point. And then after that, you just kill whatever they have, like their Oystins or whatever. It's a pretty trivial matchup. You're not going to ever run out of cards into them because they don't have a weapon. You just kill their allies, you gain some life, you stay at 40, they won't ever stand a chance. After that, we got Florian. Florian, I'm just always taking him to fatigue. I am including 72 cards in my deck. I think the only thing I'm not running into him is like Midas's Touch. But I might be wrong. I'm running a ton of cards into him. But the main game plan is pitch to Arcane, block physical, swing club as much as possible. If they play out their tree, pitch to that. Play the Warmongers if you have to. We're running AB3 into them for a reason, and that's for tree. Try not to leak any unnecessary damage if you don't need to. It's pretty easy. You just want to make sure you're only utilizing your weapon. You are not utilizing any cards from hand. It's obviously contextual. Sometimes you do want to use cards from hand to actually play them out and do a thing. But aside from that, just play value-based. Remember that you're not fighting on a turn-to-turn basis. You are fighting on a deck-to-deck basis. So even if you're having really terrible value this turn, you're going to get more value in the long run by getting more value out of pitching your cards and swinging your club rather than putting cards in front of things. Next, we have Verdance. I talked a little bit about Verdance earlier. You're just always pitching to Arcane. You're always blocking damage. You are trying not to leak anything if you don't have to. They don't have a weapon. They literally cannot fatigue you, so don't be worried about not having enough cards in deck to kill them. You will have enough cards in deck to kill them. Keep that life total. Gain life. If they play out a healing pot, try and get rid of it ASAP. Oasis Respite, great arsenal target. But yeah, just stop as much damage as you can. Destroy the healing pots. Remembrance, I am running Remembrance into Verdance so that I can Remembrance my Arc Smashes back into my deck so that I can continue to destroy their healing pots if they don't line up nicely for me. But yeah, into Victor, pretty similar to what I was saying earlier, which is just you want to swing your Romping Club every single turn, you want to pitch those Barraging Beatdowns, and you want to play quad Barraging Beatdown at the end of the game. It's pretty... Yeah, it's similar to with Florian. You just want to make sure that you are getting the most value out of every single card you can, and you're trying to keep the amount of deck value density as high as you possibly can. I'm always fat decking into Victor. There's really no reason to cut down on cards into him. But yeah, again, you don't really care if he's clashing into you and winning those either. If he wins, whatever. That's not changing the amount of damage he has in his deck. Into Azalea, running all the D-Reacts. I'm trying to trim down a little bit lower. I don't think I ever run a clean 60 into most things, but I'm trying to stay around like 65 or something, just so I have a high density of D-Reacts left in my deck so that I can avoid the Dominate. If they don't have a Dominated Arrow, just give them your hand. It's not really ever worth taking damage in that scenario. But yeah, try and keep a D-React in Arsenal at all times, or any Arsenal in general. You don't want to get blown out by a Codex. But yeah, same with Marilyn. Into Marilyn, you are always trying to have a reaction in Arsenal, specifically a reaction. I'm not really as worried about having an Oasis in Arsenal. Sometimes I'll even IP myself to make sure that I have an Oasis left in hand. They basically have a total of 18 sources of Overpower and Evasion. And that is their 9 blue harpoons, the 6 non-blue harpoons, and the 3 codexes to get them back. You're trying to play through as many of those as you can by playing out your defense reactions into those. If it doesn't have overpower, just give them your hand. It's not really worth it to keep damage to swing your club. I am fat decking into Marilyn more than I would into Azalea because her weapon does give +4, which is similar to Romping Club. The only difference is that Hammerhead relies on them using a card out of deck in order to get value out of it. So unlike Romping Club, where you will always get 4 damage, they always need an arrow in order to get 4 damage out of their weapon. Sigils are king in that matchup. It is very nice to have the life gain on like Oasis Respite and Heart of Findel, but the one thing that I have noticed is that it is not worth it to take damage just to get value off of those. In this matchup, it's not really value, it's so much as just surviving their overpower attacks. If you can make it through all 18 overpowered harpoons, then you're doing really, really well. So just remember, your life total is more important than value in this matchup. Riptide, super easy. Block, swing club. You might want to cut some D-reacts into Riptide because Dreadbore is really, really annoying. But again, just swing club every turn. He can't fatigue you if you swing club every turn. You will never trigger his traps either. With Vincent, the game plan is block everything. If they give you space, try and be disruptive with like CNCs, send packings, pummels, etc., etc. It is not ever worth it to take damage into Vincent. To send damage back, if they send anything, block it all. But try and be disruptive on their off turns. There's a common misconception that Vincent just loses to blocking everything. That's not necessarily always true. Sometimes that is the case and they just can't really assemble the combo in time. But a lot of the time, Vincent does have the ability to build a combo Banish Zone that just annihilates any fatigue deck. What they actually lose to is the amount of damage they have to take setting up. So keep that in mind, but again, if they start comboing off, don't keep cards. In top of A, I put Dash IE. I put it at top of A because I think that Dash IE is always going to be on the pistol plan, not on the boost plan. I think the boost plan is probably a little bit worse because they can just high roll and kill you. But the pistol plan, you just play Arc Smashes, you kill their pistol items, and then you just fatigue them because you have more damage on your weapon than they do. But yeah, Arc Smash, Bam Bam, good in that matchup. Betsy, I did put it lower than Victor. I think Betsy is weirdly enough going to be a little bit harder than Victor, and the reason for that being that they do have repeated ability to have evasion, whereas Victor does not. So they can kind of high roll you, but similar to Victor, you're just trying to play the game plan of get more deck value out of them, unless they're playing super aggressive, overpower every single turn, and in that case, you just want to preserve your life total as long as you can and wait until they run out of ways to get overpower. Jarl, same thing as Victor, you're battling deck damage. Pitch the Barragines to get that end game plan if they're running like Summit or Sledge. So yeah, trying to fatigue them. I don't really have a ton of issues with Jarl because they don't have as good card quality either, even if they do have a good weapon. You don't really care too much about Frostbites either. But yeah, KO, what I'm doing into KO is I am just running CNC pummels. I'm waiting for the right time to Scowling Fleshbag them. D-Reacts and Arsenal is very good if they're running Pulpings. Hold the Lines are good. KO is probably the hero that I have the most confidence facing of the aggro decks right now. It's pretty similar to the Rhinar deck I was running in Heavy Hitters meta. For Max, I'm just putting him in A. I don't think Max is very good anyways. You just need to block efficiently. You have a weapon. He doesn't actually have a weapon since he relies on having extra cards in order to make hyperdrivers and attack with his wrench. But yeah, for Puffin is just weird. As soon as they deploy the bird, I would say you need to hit that immediately. I would also say try to block with your Scab Skins early, so that whenever they play their, I think it's Pulse Wave Aeronaut, something like that, the one that destroys armor, you can put your Scab Skins on the combat chain, and then they have to decide if they want to get rid of 3 block, or if they want to get rid of your Scab Skins. And if they don't get rid of your Scab Skins, then you can do that again in the future, and that means that they won't be able to hit things like your Scowling Fleshbag or your Tunic. If they do hit if they do hit your boots, then that's fine. You still blocked 3. Then you just want to move on and make sure that you aren't losing value on your on your arms, your Apex Bonebreaker. Top of B, Kano, I still don't think is a good matchup, but we do have game into him. Obviously, the barraging thing that I was talking about at the beginning of this video is very powerful into him, but he can always pitch deck us if we don't find the aggression that we need or destroy the potions that he has. He can also just high roll the hell out of you anyways with like crazy open the floodgates when you have 4 reds. Biggest thing is don't go jazz hands into him, aka don't leave yourself open with no cards. Even if if you're just swinging club at him with a blue and now you have no cards in hand, that's not worth it. Don't do it. Just IP and wait for next turn. Syndra, I don't think Syndra's maybe a great matchup for us. It's a little bit difficult since they have so much ability to leak damage and get you into tough blocking situations. But I think it's very possible to win that matchup. I haven't tested it much at all, but I can imagine it's probably not great. Bolton is the same way. We run a lot of attacks in this deck, so we give him a lot of extra offensive value. Bolton has also been traditionally very, very good into Guardians, and this is kind of a Guardian deck. I would run more D-Reacts and try and deny Lumina, but I don't think it's a great matchup. But you can always high roll and just kind of play better than him sometimes. Bravo, I do not think is a good matchup because he has repeated access to Dominate, and Dominate is really hard to really hard to play around. It's also hard to fatigue him anyways because of the good weapon that he has. So I don't ever really want to be seeing Bravos. Levia, I don't actually think Levia is as bad as I said she is. You just kind of play into her like she's KO. It is a little bit harder because she does have access to recursion if she thinks that you're on fatigue. AKA, did she walk around the room and see that you're running Romping Club? But yeah, I don't think it's as bad as I said it was. Obviously, running more D-Reacts, you're just trying to block efficiently and send your club. In C, I put Ocilio. Ocilio is really hard to block. He can also set up a combo that we can't beat with Arg Smashes, because a lot of them are auras, not items, and that arcane damage can get really, really awkward every once in a while as well. Obviously not unwinnable. I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know. In C, I also put Rhinar. I don't think Rhinar is a good matchup for us at all. Rhinar is very, very good into Guardians. Again, we're a Guardian. He can really catch us off guard with the quad intimidates, and I just don't get to block, which is what my deck is entirely built around. In the I have no idea tier, I didn't test most of these. I will say I don't think Prism is bad at all. I could be totally wrong, and it's an abysmally awful matchup. But the fact that I have Scab Skins, and I have Poppers, and I have Dig Up Dinners, and all of that stuff means that I think I can probably fatigue her. Romping Club kills Angels in one hit anyways. Midas's Touch also beats Angels, so I probably just do good threat assessment, kill the Soraya, kill the Genesis, things like that, and I fatigue them. They don't have access to Tome of Divinity anymore, which makes that a lot easier. But I don't know. It could be terrible for me, and I could be completely wrong. But yeah, that's all I have for the tier list right now. Yeah. All right. We found a Gravy here. Hopefully they don't leave on us. We're going to give them a good luck, have fun. We're running, obviously, no Arcane Barrier, so normal equipment. We chose to go first so that we can just start getting on that fatigue train into them. I'm going to put in some D-Reacts here. I think Unmovable is really good because it gets around that Conqueror of the High Seas. I'll put in Oasis Respites. I like gaining life. Midas's Touch, of course, and then Arc Smash for the item destruction. And then I'll put in Remembrance as well. These other cards I don't really need. I won't put in the Pummels because they're never going to fatigue us, and I'm not really looking to cast them or block with them. But yeah, here I think the best thing for me to do is probably pitch the Warmongers and Swing Club. It might have been correct to actually just play out that Warmongers, but I also have this Take Up Dinner here, and I want to see if maybe I can put more 6s into my graveyard and then cast that Dig Up Dinner. They get to do a Blood in the Water. A little bit annoying considering they probably get rid of some Watery Grave there. But that's alright with me. I'll end the turn. I'll put this Respite in Arsenal, I believe. Alright, Portside Exchange. All good with me. That's a Whaler. That's a little bit scary. Maybe I want to put the Swing Big in Arsenal now. Oh, look at that. Conqueror of the High Seas when I have a Respite and an Unmovable. Let's see. So they aren't getting my Arsenal as long as I play the Respite. So what might be the play is block with Bam Bam, and then they have 2 resources floating, so they can't play either of these. Probably just Oasis Respite this, and then put the Swing Big in Arsenal so that if they play the Whaler, I can clear that in 1 turn. I'm pretty happy with this plan. Boom, pitch the Unmovable. Obviously, if I had that Unmovable in Arsenal, that would have been a great play, just playing it on this command, Conqueror of the High Seas. Maybe it would have been worth it to block a little bit with my armor here to deny them a gold, but they already have 2 right now, so I'm not super worried about that. Oh wait, they do have Dead Threads to cast the Swabby, but if they do, I'll just Romping Club it. Oh, waiting for them to do that. That's okay with me. I'll just bonk it with the club. They can't attack with it, so it got no value. Definitely would have been better staying in their graveyard. Romping Club, attack the Swabby, bonk. Boom. Really glad that didn't stick around. Pass it back to them. Another nice thing about always targeting the allies is sometimes they will clump up D-Reacts as well. Sawbones, that's a little scary, but that's alright. Golden Tipple, okay. I think the play is probably block with Ripple Away. That All You Got could maybe draw me a card later in the chain. Ripple Away, I don't expect to get a ton of value out of Ripple Away right now. Defeating Compass, I'm definitely trying to keep the Barraging in hand so I can pitch it. There's Murderous Rabble, another 3 damage. I'll block with the Arc Smash here. We'll see if maybe they play out the Sawbones. I think that would be ideal for us. Or really any of these allies. I don't really mind. Okay, there's the Sawbones. Very happy to see that gone. Well, about to be gone. They activate a gold, and then they swing in with him. Alright. Don't really care too much about them gaining gold on this, but I maybe should have held something back, considering that they did have that in graveyard. But that's alright. I think, yeah, they generated a gold anyway, so that on-hit doesn't matter of getting rid of the gold-baited hook here. I'm just letting them get a gold. Swing Romping Club, kill the Sawbones. I think that's the biggest misplay that these gravy decks have, is that they play out the Sawbones immediately, when I think they should probably keep them in graveyard until they can cast multiple of them at a time and protect those really big, like, Whalers. There's a Chart the High Seas. Nice that I am below life total because I haven't swung Romping Club at their face much, so I am going to get the +1 value off of this Oasis here. Notable that if... Ooh, okay. Interesting. Alright, they come in with Conqueror. I'm going to block here and here, not blocking with the Apex because I'm not going to get the Might. And then I'll probably Tunic respite this. This way I keep a blue in hand so I can still clear whatever they send at me. Boom. 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 A little bit of awkward value here. I'm overblocking this by 1, but I'm still gaining a life and they're not getting any hits. Again, I want to protect the swing big, both to deny them gold as well as to clear this Humperdinck, or Humperdinck. I like saying Humperdinck, if they end up playing it. Discard Rigor Mortis. That's alright with me. Play Rigor Mortis. That's still alright with me. Avasti. Okay. So they have no resources floating. They could theoretically pitch a blue and then just play out Anka. I would definitely clear Anka first before Rigor Mortis because I don't want them to have as much graveyard fill. But I will just be taking this. No real reason to block it considering I have the Sigil here. They got 2. Where do they have 2 action points from? Vasti. Was it a back alley break line? Is that what I saw? Huh. Okay, Mage Masters. Yep. Lay that out. Gold baited. So they're probably just going to come in with Cuddy or play out the Cuddy after this. I just take 5. I'm not blocking this. Yeah, make your gold, whatever. Still can't attack with the Cuddy Shark, which is pretty nice. Bonk the Anka, so they can't get rid of as many water grave cards. We're going to play out the Sigil here, go back up to 29. They've already played 2 CNCs, haven't they? Yeah, 2 here, so that's 2 of basically their biggest power plays into us, already gone. Remember, this is a little awkward here, but it's fine. We'll probably just be pitching that to Romping Club. See if maybe there's a good place to use my Flesh Bag this turn. I really want to gain a little bit of tempo to beat up these allies here. And hitting all of their go again for real. Okay. So they're getting this with go again. They haven't played out an ally yet. Okay. So they're probably going to play out maybe this Rigor Mortis here. I think they can activate Dead Threads, correct? Yeah, yes, they can activate and swing in with another Rigor Mortis, so we're just going to block. Boom. Boom, boom. I'll deny them the gold, whatever. Not much of a reason to get rid of this card, I don't think. I think they're probably just going to Arsenal it. There's another Rigor Mortis. Activate gold baited hook. Okay. They already made the gold, it's whatever. The thread, swing in with that for 6. I'll block 3, I'll take 3. All good with me. You can have your gold, whatever. And then I'll swing in. I think I'll kill the Rigor Mortis this turn, just since it's getting a lot of base damage. I want to get rid of that Cutty Shark at some point as well, since it is giving them repeated damage without using up an action point. Ooh, only 1 damage here. I think it's good to just take it. They're playing out the Whaler here, so I definitely want to be sure I'm keeping the swing big to clear it. I think... yeah, they're just swinging in with Rigor Mortis right here. They won't have any extra action points at the end, so what I will do is I will block with... let's see. They did not activate Gold Baited Hook. There's no on-hits here. I think... this is interesting. They don't have any extra action points. So the correct play is probably block with both D-Reacts. I can send the swing big, put Unmovable in Arsenal. Good 8 points of value there. So, boom, defense step, sink below. I will not bottom anything. I will react with Shelter from the Storm as a defense reaction. Block all 8. And then we will bonk that Humperdinck. Bonk. Really glad to get rid of that now, rather than when they have more Sawbones on the field. Although that Rigor Mortis definitely is putting in work. There is a chance that maybe I should have rolled here, but I think the consequences of not being able to clear that Humperdinck in this turn, not being able to clear that Humperdinck this turn would be pretty big. Let me make sure I actually Arsenal this time. Boom. A little awkward not having a blue here, but it's fine. We do have stand in order to clear it if I need to. There's another Sawbones. That is a kill on sight. Ally. Golden Tipple. Discarded another Sawbones. Okay. Don't think it's worth it to Fleshbag here. I think I just take the 2 damage. Hold, so there is an on-hit on the next one. That's a little awkward, especially with the Cutty Shark, but I do have a D-React plus a 3 block, so that's fine. They play out a Sawbones, all good. Swing in with it with no go again, so I am able to just block 6, right? Yeah, they couldn't have given it +1 anyway. Oop, oh my god. Bumped my spacebar, sorry. Where is it? Swinging for 6. Good with me. I think I just block here and here. I'm okay with IPing the standing order since it does make my unmovable a little less awkward if I don't draw any blues. And if I really need to roll, it is another thing that can help clear these allies. I am considering rolling here. Rolling a 1. I don't know how devastating that would be since I don't see any like crazy action points. They've already played all 3, 2 of their Avastes instead of all 3, so they only have 1 left in deck. So I think I'm alright rolling here. I roll a 1, that's unfortunate, I'll pass. Shucks. We do have the blue for unmovable, which is nice. definitely will try to block with Bam Bam first, because maybe I can cast this Dig Up Dinner. Call to the Grave. Are they playing back alleys? Doesn't look like it yet, but I think I saw them pitch one earlier in the game. Let's see. What do you have in Watery Grave? They got a Chum, which is fine. I think I let them have the 1 damage, it's fine. Also notable, they are halfway through their deck now, and I am above half my life total, with quite a bit of armor left over, so I am kind of in the lead right now. There's their last of Asti, so we can see a lot of their go against horses are gone now. Swinging with Rigor Mortis. Let's see, they have Sawbones and Cutty Shark, so I might get more value on the unmovable later in the turn. So I think right now what is correct is to block here and here. No, here and here. That way I have more 6s in my graveyard. I won't sink my arsenal. I will deny them a gold token. Here they probably get back alley. Yep. They play out Chum. 2 action points remaining so they can swing in twice. Did they discard a... I don't know that they did. I think I'll take this 4, because if for some reason they don't attack after this, I can still Dig Up Dinner. Kind of. It's a little bit awkward because they can just activate Chum and then get the... and then make it so I can't clear the Chum. So I think it is actually probably best to block with Warmongers here. Even if they come in with something else, then that's fine. I'll block it out and I'll just swing and kill that Sawbones. Okay. Swing. Hit the Sawbones. Pass. Again, lots of Go Again is gone from their deck. They don't have their Mage Masters. They are now only having 2 more Call to the Graves for back alley break lines left in the deck. And they have no more Avasti. Nice to get that all you got right here. Could mean that if they get like Golden Tipple or something, it's pretty nice. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, I got a gold. Could be useful. Activate Cutty Shark. There's a useless card because we didn't attack them, which is pretty nice. They play another Tip the Barkeep. And then they swing at me with Rigor Mortis. No, they don't. They swing at me with Sawbones. No, they play out a Sawbones. And then they swing at me with something. Swing at me with Rigor Mortis. Okay. Good with me. I will just block for 6 here. I'll take 1. And then I'll attack them with... it might have been correct to just play the unmovable. But that's alright. I'm okay with leaking the 1 damage here. Swing at the Sawbones. I think that's the last one in their deck, so no more needing to worry about that, which is very, very nice. Play out the Sigil, go back up to 23. I love Sigil of Solace. Pass it back. E-Strike is really big here. By the way, I can yeah, this is really big. I can block with Sun Packing and Apex, and then use E-Strike for 6 at Chum. Conquer the High Seas here is wonderful with my Unmovable in Arsenal. Really glad I didn't play that last turn. I don't think did they play... Let's see, play Conqueror. They did not play a blue card yet, which is super nice. Theoretically, this is a good place to Flesh Bag, but I really want to get my Unmovable value. But as I was saying, I can block with Sun Packing and Apex to make this come in for 6 go again, clear the Chum, and then Tunic plus... yeah. Wait, that doesn't actually work. But I can still E-Strike for 6 with go again. Or E-Strike for 7 just at the Chum and clear it, and then put this Shelter in Arsenal. They activate Cutty Shark, that's fine. Then swing in for 7. Let's see, how many Water Grave do we have left? Because I can see if maybe they wouldn't be able to activate Chum. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thinking, please bear with me. 3 Sawbone, 3 Chum, 3 Rigor Mortis, some number 3 Anka. So probably 2 5-ish out of 24. I don't think it's worth it. I think I just clear the Chum. And then I Arsenal the Shelter. I'm taking 7 either way. Life total is getting a little low, but that is a-okay. We're just gonna E-Strike for 7 at Chum. Arsenal this. Golden Tipple. Discard another Chum. Okay, that's pretty annoying. They can definitely play that out and send it at me. It is probably correct to just take this. It's only 1 damage. I can't get much value out of blocking it. I definitely want to replace my Arsenal with this Barraging, because I can use that to clear a Chum. And it'll certainly clear the Chum, considering they don't have any more Sawbones left in deck. They activate Gold Kiss Rum, all good. I think they ordered this incorrectly because they're not going to get the value off of Gold Kiss Rum if I'm correct here. My next action this turn gets go again, so this does okay. Okay. That might technically be a bug because they might have to use the Gold Kiss Rum after they've used Cutty Shark, but maybe I'm incorrect. They do have... yeah. I think I just block with Pack Hunt, and then react with the Shelter from the Storm, clean 7 blocks, stop the gold. Swabby is annoying. Definitely want to clear that ASAP. They swing in for 7. I will block for... I'll block for 6. I don't really think I need the barraging right now. I'll wait for a more calm turn to replace my arsenal. Bonk the Swabby. Still running out of action points over there, so it'll get calmer pretty soon. And I still have Fleshbag up. E-Strike is huge here. Saltwater Swell. Maybe worth it to Fleshbag here. What do they have? They got Rigor Mortis, Chum, and Anka. They can play all of those. They can double ally with another blue. I think I take it. I don't think I need to Fleshbag. Rigor Mortis for 6 with Go again. I think right now I Bam Bam with Bonebreaker. This means I can E-Strike, kill the Chum if they play that out, and then pitch this round's on me to club the Rigor Mortis. If for whatever reason I need to block with this round's on me, I can always choose the draw card mode as well. Oh, that's annoying. That's very annoying. It's coming in for 7. I'm going to just block here for 7. Swing in, bonk the Rigor Mortis. Unfortunate that we didn't get the E-Strike play, but that's A-okay. Hard to find all value. Definitely nice to know that they cannot, what was I going to say, they can't Gold Kiss Rum here with, like, Tip the Barkeep. I will take this 1 damage. That's alright with me. Activate Cuddy. All good with me. Again. Oh, they play out a Cuddy. Okay. Less good with me, but... Activate that one. Activate that one. Swing in with Rigor Mortis for 8. I am okay with this, I think. How many loots do they have left? 1, 2. I've got 1 more loot to hold left in deck. So I think it's probably right to put the barraging in Arsenal so that I can clear the Chum when it comes out. Shelter, defense reaction, I'll take 1, go down to 10. They end turn, cool. bonk, the rigor mortis, gain a life. Look at that value. Turn, arsenal this. Ooh, whaler. That's a little scary. Definitely glad I have this barraging. That's probably what we save it for. Murderous rabble. All good. I'll block it here. Let's see what they do here. Play out the Anka. Good with me. That'll probably come in for 7. Yeah, but I'm okay overblocking it by 1, just to make sure that I can bonk it. I could technically keep Tunic pitch the sink below and also clear this, but I think I would rather de-react it up. Paper scene. I think I'll put that on the bottom. It's not a de-react, it's not a Midas touch, so I don't really want to keep that right now. Sink below. I will not sink it. I don't know what the top card of my deck is. I don't want it to be a red. Lock it out. There's a... I feel like I need to kill a Cutty Sharks, maybe? No, I'm just going to get rid of the Anka. Cutty Sharks are getting so much value here, though. I really want to see like a Midas's Touch to help clear it, or an E-Strike, or anything like that. In earlier versions of this list, I was running Life for a Life. Hit something, gain a life, and then swing club in afterwards. Oasis here is pretty nice. Hold the line might even get to see some value. They gain a life, okay. They play that. They're probably about to swing it. Yep. Swinging for 12. Not really that bad. They did not draw 2 cards, did they? I don't think they did. So that's 12. 7. Basically 3 more. Basically blocking 10, going down to 9. And then we just barraging clear it with the hold the line. Works for me. That step. Boom. Finals. Oasis. Oop. Wait. Okay, that should stop the damage, right? Yeah. We will barraging, send this at Whaler. I won't play out the Sigil yet, just because I want to... There's no reason to not put in an arsenal, since I'll still get the value anyways. It's good to maybe bluff having a good arsenal, or maybe having a pummel later or something, I don't know. Saltwater Swell. Let's see. I don't... Do they have another Whaler in Graveyard? They do. So that would cost them 6 and then 6. So this is a good place to Scowling Fleshbag. do have the E-Strike to double clear if they don't play out the Whaler anyways. They can still play it out if they want to, but they won't be able to attack with it. Ooh, they do get to swing twice. Okay, smaller chance of them having a Watery Grave card, I believe. We're going to E-Strike with Go Again, I think, at Cutty Shark, and then if they, yeah, E-Strike at Cutty Shark. If they activate Chum, then we Barraging kill the Chum. If they don't, we Barraging kill the Whaler. We still keep Sigil in Arsenal. Okay. Boom, Cutty Shark. We're going to put this on the bottom. We're going to say Go Again. They do not have... Okay, so they are able to activate Chum. They discard their other Chum. That's okay with me. Might be worth it to activate my gold. Maybe see if I can get... No, it's not worth it. We're still going to Barraging and attack the Chum. Cool. End turn. There's the Midas's Touch. Real nice timing. Loot the Hold is not great though. Not my favorite. Let's see. They attack me for 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see. Oh my god, I keep bumping the spacebar. Let's see, I'm at 10. I could technically just block with Sink Below, take 7, go down to 3 after I play my Sigil, and then Midas's Touch the Whaler, and then club the Cutty Shark. I think that's a pretty decent idea. All things considered, yeah. We're gonna play out the Sigil. We're gonna play out the Sink. We're gonna take 7, and we're gonna put the Swing Big into the graveyard, just to make sure that we can still clear 2 allies this turn. Because now, with the Whaler gone, and really only a very small amount of Kogan left in their deck, I'm not too worried. Midas's Touch. Boom. Yeah, they're rich now, but they don't have a Humperdinck anymore. Swing Club at Cutty Shark. Board is finally clear. They don't have a ton of Watery Grave left in their deck. They don't have a ton of deck left either. I've still got some life gain left. Ooh, Unmovable is nice. Chum here is a little bit annoying if they only play that out, but I assume they might play out the Ankh as well, and then swing with that as well, if they have the ability. Golden Tipple, you're pretty annoying, but I will block you out for 3. I think here it is correct to just block 3, take 1, and then play the Warmongers so that they can't play out multiple allies next turn. And then Arsenal the Unmovable. Warmongers. Hopefully I draw 6 as well. If I draw Barragines, that can get a little awkward to clear it. We're going to say War. We're going to pass it back. Add you to Arsenal. And I do draw a 6, quote unquote. They choose peace, which is pretty nice for me. They end turn. Also still pretty nice. I can play Remembrance. Get some more Barragines back in the deck, I think. And then I'll play Wrecker Romp, pitch, dig up dinner, discard Beast Within in order to clear the chum. I think that makes sense. So Remembrance. We will put you, and you. I'll put in all the yellow ones. The reds don't really matter for the extra damage. Actually, I'll put in the Midas Touch instead. But they're all yellows, so I can pitch them into my club. All of those look good to me. Submit. Back up to 18. Still not getting fatigued. Wrecker Romp. This is the first time I've ever cast Wrecker Romp in this deck in any game ever before, but it did its job. Heart of Findall, getting value, pretty good. Oh, they're attacking me with Back Alley Breakline for 3 go again? That's funny. I will block with my Send Packing. Yes. They're running very low on threats left in the deck. They have, like, I think just the Anka left. Call to the Grave. I assume it's probably going to get a Back Alley, maybe? Play Call to the Grave. What did they get? Back Alley? Maybe. Yeah. Yep. That's game. In the rest of their deck, they had literally nothing else that dealt damage. In their arsenal, they had Blood in the Water, which wouldn't get any value until I cleared this. I would just pitch Heart of Findall, play the Unmovable, pitch Wrecker Romp, swing Club at it, kill it, and then hold the line in arsenal, and that would be game. So even in that, like, really kind of, not necessarily high rolly situation, I think I just kind of misplayed by not hitting the Cuddy Sharks earlier. It was still a very, very favorable game in my favor. I never felt like I was really about to lose until that Humperdinck with the Loop the Hold. That was very, very awkward. But as soon as that turn passed, they don't have any threats left, and I felt pretty in the driver's seat. So yeah. All right, we're back at it again with Florian. We're running AB3 for the Tree Remembrance to help get around that, or get around Fatigue. Oasis Respites, more value. Unmovables, more value. Same with Pummels, and that all you got. And Thick-Hide Hunter. Thick-Hide Hunter is better in this matchup because you can pitch to AB and then block with it so you don't actually lose any cards from discarding. Running Fate for Scenes, Arc Smashes, not running Fiddler's Green because it's not always going to get the 3 value because of Reaping Blade. Cool. Running 72 cards, and I always want to go first in this matchup just so I can activate Club. like so, and this one is especially great because I'm able to pitch 2 red barraging beatdowns here, and Arsenal async below. They block with a Plow Under and an Autumn's Touch, which is super great for us. A lot of this time in this matchup, when they see Romping Club, they may not even know that we're trying to play into Fatigue, so they'll give up a power card like Plow Under, just to try and get more decomposed fodder. Which, again, we don't really care if they end up getting their hero ability online very quickly, because those extra rune chants that they're creating from their hero ability doesn't actually represent true damage, since I can pitch to all of it. We will see what our opponent wants to do here. I definitely want to try and pitch this barraging beatdown, regardless of what happens. They're just going to come in with Reaping Blade for 3 with Go again. Interesting that they didn't just play out the Felling here, like trot along, pitch into Felling, but that's okay. I think here I'm going to block with my Wrecker Romp. So if for whatever reason they give us more space, I can just send the Command and Conquer, but if they don't, I can block with Command and Conquer, pitch this to AB, or block with both of these, pitch this. Oh, that makes sense. So they're coming in with Cadaverous Tilling. All good with me. I will just block 6 here, and then I'll pitch the barraging beatdown on my turn to swing club. I am okay with this. Definitely keeping track of the fact that they have a Felling, especially right next to a Canopy Shelter for the late game. So I can count on one less. I can count on one less Felling being in the deck unless they end up shuffling. Well, being in the deck until pitch stack. They gave me 3, they'll probably decompose, maybe they got the 2 extra earth cards here. I'm always happy to see that gone as well. A little bit annoying that they took damage here and now I'm above them, but I can always take more damage in order to just play the Sigil of Solace out. Oh, they're just going to gain life, so I get to do it anyways. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So here I'm going to AB 1. And then I'll block 3 with the E-Strike so that I can pitch the barraging beatdown in order to swing my club, keeping a ton of these barraging beatdowns in the deck. I've already seen 5 of them, which is super nice, so I don't have to worry about not blocking with a lot of the other ones as well. I'll play out the Sigil of Solace here anyways. Might have actually been better to keep that in hand until my next turn, but I was a little impatient. Because I technically could bluff having a pummel, not that it would matter on my Romping Club. See what they do here. No blocks, maybe a Root Bound? Nope, Shelter. That's fine with me. Cool. We're going to put barraging on the bottom, draw up. There's another barraging, very, very nice. Oasis here is really nice. They're coming in for 6. They're definitely not going to be pummeling this. Good to know that they're on these. These can be a little bit scary when they have Channel Mount Heroic out. But yeah, they're coming in here. I think it might actually be better to block 6 here and then just pitch these into club. This way maybe I can gain the life late game and have more like Arcane and more defense in the late game. I could technically have blocked with like Ripple Away and then Oasis Respited this and then pitch the barraging, but I'm okay with having more reds left in my deck. Also good to have one more Command and Conquer out of the deck. Command and Conquer can be a little bit of an issue with this deck since we do run so many D-Reacts. Ooh, I'm really happy to see this on block. Ooh. Or maybe not on block. I'll be less happy with that. Darn. Opponent's taking the optimal play. I'll decompose, that's okay with me. Put these to the bottom. Nice to have some more blues in this hand for sure. They're gonna grasp, pitching the channel. Important to note that that's on the bottom of the deck now. I will definitely AV1 here, and I'll probably block with Command and Conquer. No, I think I'll block with Send Packing, because if I get the space, I probably want to send the Command and Conquer. Though I do think I'm probably going to be blocking with it anyways. Ooh, wow, felling. In this case, I will be bottoming the... Oh, wait. Oh, when they decompose. Oh, no, they're not decomposing. That's okay. Never mind. We're just going to block 3, and we'll swing our club. If they had played the felling out and swung it at us, but they don't have the resources, it probably would be put Warmongers on the bottom and then block with a CNC. Again, we want to have more 6s in our graveyard for when we get our dig up dinners. Swing the club at him. Bonk. Canopy Shelter. Good to see this now before they're online, because mites are real damage. Activating Grasp. Cadaverous Tilling, coming in for 8 plus that. Probably block 6 here, pitch that all you got, and then pitch Arc Smash the next turn to attack. Yeah. Pitch 1. Seven. Oh, that's actually 9, so it might be a little bit more value to just block out 9 here. I think I value my life total more than swinging the club again. I've already done a lot of work with the club, so maybe I should have used Tunic here instead. I forgot about the Might token. I was okay taking 2 damage to send it, but since it is 9 and I'm getting full value out of every single card here, I'm definitely happy full blocking out. Just pass it back. See what they do here. Take Hide Hunter, Oasis Respite, makes this fun. Happy to see this before they come online as well. That's a little scary. I'm a little scared of that. Alright. Let's think. So that's going to be coming in for 8, 9, 10, 11. That blocks 10. Yeah, this is not bad at all. So this is actually great. So I can block the 2 rune chants with this blue. And then when they decompose, I'll put the Enlightened Strike on the bottom. Oh. Did they forget to I think they forgot to decompose. Yeah. Pitch 1. Pitch 1. Swing in with that. Definitely a little bit of a bummer again that I don't get to gain a life from the Oasis, but I'm happy to be blocking for 6 with Thick Hide. So that goes on the stack. I can still respond to it, so I don't actually have to discard it. And then boom, blocking 12 damage with all of these. Pretty good. So take 1 damage. Annoying that they still keep this around. Maybe they whiff on Earth cards next turn, which would be great for us. We'll pass back to them. We are denying them decompose, which is very nice. Alright, they are online now. They are definitely keeping their channel around for another turn. Swarming here. I got a nice D-react for that. We're going to AB here. AB here. And then 7. So I will block with this and the D-react. Might have to block with the barraging somewhere in here. There's a sink. Oh, I actually get to put this on the bottom of my deck anyways. Annoying that I don't get as much block value, but now I preserved having that in my deck. Let's see, they're probably just going to attack with their weapon. Yep. So that's okay, we're going to just block 2. Taking 1, that's fine with me. And then we'll pitch the Remembrance. Don't quite need to play it out yet. Another thing is with the Remembrance, that also means that all of the barragings that I've sent to the bottom will maybe come back to the top, and maybe I'll have a little bit more trouble pitching them. But as of now, I have all of my 3 red barragings at the bottom of the deck right now, so I don't have to worry about pitching them instead of blocking with them. Look, there's another barraging. This one is definitely just getting pitched, blocking with these ones instead. I might end up playing the Warmongers here, depending on what they do. I've seen this one before. I think I will AB1. AB1. They come in for 7, we block 3, and then we sink. I will not sink this card. It's blue, it blocks for 3. It can maybe be used on offense if they end up not swinging anything at me, but chances are they are probably going to swing something at me. There's the CNC. I will block 3 here. I value my life total. I'm still winning on cards in deck by a large margin, and I have Remembrance left in my deck, so I can essentially just add 2 to however many cards I have left in deck and say, that's how many I have in front of you. Again, notable to see that they have pitched a Plow Under, so they have 1 more that will be coming up before they pitch deck. Before their pitch deck, sorry. They blocked with 1 earlier, they've pitched 1, and they have 1 coming up. They have pitched 2 Fellings as well, so they'll have those late game as well. They also have pitched a Swarming and a Rune Rager. Alright, they got 2 Rune Chants. Definitely pitching the barraging to those Rune Chants. I'm always a little bit wary swinging Swing Big at them, so I'm definitely going to be blocking with it here. Again, also Dig Up Dinner to shuffle that back in. Hasn't quite come up super naturally this game yet, but it does put in work having more 6s in your graveyard for Dig Up Dinner. So get the full 3 block here, swing the Romping Club, Arsenal, a D-React feels pretty good to me. Technically bluffing a Pummel if they want to think about that. They do not think about it. They go down to 36. I can still gain life in this situation, which is quite nice. Put you in Arsenal. Hey look, I can gain life with that. Really hope they don't come at me with a CNC. That would be pretty awkward. Rune Ranger, so I'm definitely going to be ABing 3 here. Maybe I even... No, I don't think I AB the next one. I think that I just block with Fate for Seeing here, because they could technically have the... they could have Plow Under here and get rid of my Arsenal, so I want to get value out of it right now. If they don't, I can still block with the Pummel later in the chain. I'll put that on the bottom. It's not doing anything for me. Swing Reaping, all good with me. We'll block 2. I could Tunic and swing my club this turn, but again, I'm so ahead on cards right now that I'm not super worried about that at the current moment. They also don't have a ton of threats, so I know I'll be able to swing club later. I'll just play the Sigil. I will Arsenal this Unmovable, and I'll pass it back to them. I still get to gain life. This is wonderful. Ugh, that's not as wonderful. Grasp. I'm probably taking Arcane here so that I can use my Unmovable, maybe? Not quite yet. I think I will be taking the Arcane. I can Fate Foreseen this, and then Unmovable something else. If I don't, then I'll be able to block 3 here on like their weapon, and then Sigil, pitching the blue. Okay, they took that back. Let's see what they're up to right now. So tomorrow, Felon of the Crown back on the bottom is a little annoying for sure. And that is the bottom, right? Yes. Grasp. They're thinking. Tunic. Okay. Oh. Oh, they're thinking. They're thinking real hard. Okay. Plow Under here is pretty annoying. Game plan is probably... We don't get the Unmovable. Unfortunate. Very sad. I will definitely AB3 this now. There's not much of a reason to keep it. And then I can... probably AB0 here. Block with the Standing Order, and then Arsenal the Fate Foreseen next turn. Yeah. They not decompose? Do they not have the oh, they don't have the decompose trigger. That's okay. We will Standing Order here and do the same thing then. It's a misplay on my part. I thought they had more Earth cards in the graveyard. But now we know they are completely out of Plow Unders for a good amount of time, so I can safely put this Fate Foreseen in Arsenal and know that I won't get blown out. Could Tunic to club here, but I really want a Sigil. They have how many CNCs left? 1, 2. They have 1 left in deck. I'm okay with taking that risk. CNC doesn't blow out and dereact an Arsenal the same way that a Plow Under does. Okay, there's the Grasp. CNC. Yep. I'm going to assume that they don't have pummels in their deck. If they do, then whatever. 3, 1. I won't AB this. I'll block 6 here. Again, hopefully they don't have pummel. They don't. Pretty nice. They do not have their tree anymore. That's great. And we get to start swinging again. Again, bluffing a pummel if I really cared about that. I don't. They do know I run them now, I think. Yeah, they know I run pummels and have 1 left in deck. Nice that they are blocking this out. Still means I can gain life from Heart of Find All and such. Hey look, pummel. Grasp. Arcane Seed's life. That's a little scary, but that's alright. Another Arcane Seed's life. That's pretty scary. 10 Arcane. Yeah. Probably just A-being with everything in my hand. Obviously discarding this one and then Favor Scene from Arsenal. This is pretty tame for like a push turn on their part, so we got 6, 7, 8, 9. I leak 1 damage this turn. That's okay with me. Let's see, are they gonna pass me priority, perhaps? There we go, cool. Boom, boom. We will skip this rune chant, let the shelter resolve. Let the shelter resolve. Let the shelter resolve. And now we start pitching. 1. 1. 1. 1. Another one. Another one. So it is notable to say that they used 2 cards out of their deck just to leak 1 true damage in this scenario. And that's what I'm talking about with the rune chants not being real damage. Fate for Scene here. I'll put it on the bottom. It is an Intimidate card, which is pretty nice. And it is not a blue for next turn. In turn, we'll put this on the bottom. Boom, boom. Alright. Pass it back. Unmovable. Looks like a real good Arsenal target. Especially with that happening. I might end up just playing it here, but I'm definitely going to try and not do that. Grasp of the Arknight. Cool, cool. Autumn's Touch, that's going to come in for 10. We will pitch the Wrecker Romp, block with these guys. Maybe. Let's see. Definitely A-being with this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Actually, I think I unmovable here anyways. I pitch this to it, and then I clean block the entire thing. Technically could be better value to put it in Arsenal, but there's nothing telling me that I am for sure going to draw a blue next turn, or that they're going to have something this big where I can get all my value on my immovable. So I am happy playing it out here rather than arsenaling it. Alright. Also notable, they did pitch a Sink Below there. So not attacking them is helping to clog up their hands and not give them a ton of value. It's a Grasp. See what they do with that. Okay, really glad to see they're using their weapon here. They aren't getting value off of their channel. They will be able to keep it around for an extra turn, but AB1. AB1. Looks like I'll be able to actually send a Command and Conquer here. I talked about it in the deck tech earlier, but CNC, I'm always happy sending it because it'll always demand a card from my opponent, and while they have their Channel to Mount Heroic out, this disruption is quite valuable. I'll block with a Bam Bam to keep the Sem packing left in deck. Technically could have been better to pitch that since it is Intimidate late game. End the turn. And send the CNC at them. I'm currently 3 cards ahead of them, 5 if you count Remembrance. And now 6 if you count Remembrance. Get rid of their Sink Below, that's pretty nice. Hard to find all. We're gaming. We gotta take damage though. Ooh. Okay, there's the rune chants. Oh, never mind, they're undoing. Alright. Grasp. Definitely would like to take 3 damage here somehow. I will definitely pitch to AB either way. That's just free value. I'm not losing that card from deck. And then they're going to be hitting me for 11, so I think I just block with the Swing Big. I Arsenal the Shelter after pitching Heart to swing Romping Club at them. Boom. Block 3, take 8, down to 24, but it'll actually be 25 when I pitch the Heart. Boom. Value. No blocks on their part. I can still gain life, which is wonderful. And the turn. Put this in Arsenal. Look, life gain. All reds is a little bit scary, but that's alright. They're going to come in with this. 1, 2. Ooh, I've hit pitch stack. You know that because of the barragings that I pitched earlier. So I think it's either that shelter in my arsenal or there's a shelter on top of my deck. I think here I probably AB this twice, maybe? I know I want to respite this for sure. So I think I won't AB this one, but I will Tunic, respite, and cover it up. Gain myself an extra life as well. No blocks. Respite. Gain my life. Block this out. They have a Rune Rager in their hand, I'm sure. We saw them pitch those together earlier. There's the felling. A little annoying, but we got 4 block, put this on the bottom, so that's actually just fine with me. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3 out of potentially 6 channels, I think. No blocks. And then block 8. We know they have more, what are they? We know they have more Plow Wonders and more Fellings coming up. I have not been very good about memorizing my pitch stack in this deck, mainly because I've been playing a lot of my Dig Up Dinners in these matchups, so I haven't really had a pitch stack until much later in the game, when I had more like 15 cards in my deck, but if I still had Tunic up, I could do that crazy triple barraging play, but I don't know that I would do that. They are coming up on a lot of their Tome of Harvest that they were pitching, so maybe once I see a hold line, I want to put that in Arsenal. Again, considering that they have the Plow Wonders coming up, I'm going to try and not Arsenal as much. Maybe Arsenaling the Oasis Respite might be a good idea, since it does get around the Plow Wonders. Okay, I thought that was a mistake. Rune Rager's in there. This has Go again. What do they have that might attack me for 1 resource? It might just be a Rune Rager that they have after this, which is it's weird that they would play out the Trot Along here. We will for sure AB3. Not AB the next one. And then probably just block 3. I'm okay with getting rid of one of these. I can always remember and sit back in, because we know we're coming up on that. And then pitch the other to Romping Club. Since we are getting closer in terms of deck size here, I probably want to start utilizing my weapon more. $27, $28, $33, $35. So I'm still 7 ahead. They end their turn. Cool, cool. Swing my club. Surprising they didn't have a defense reaction there, but that's alright. Two Arcane Seeds in there, 1 more in here. They have no Arcane Seeds left in deck. Alright, Grasp, Plow Under pitched. Runers. Don't want to use that Respite yet, but I do want to definitely pitch. Probably hold the line first, because I could use Warmongers to deny them value on the channel. So probably just block with the That All You Got. If they end up having something that All You Got would have procced on, whatever, that's fine. That means that they're attacking me with something that's only for 2, so it's okay. Notable that I can gain life now. They are attacking me with Felling. This is great. I will just put Warmongers on the bottom. I'll Respite this and shelter the rest of it. Assuming they decompose, they did have a card in hand. There's a chance that they might not have. But yep, put the Warmongers on the bottom. Respite. Felling. Gain a life. I will wait for a reaction step to play the Shelter. No blocks. No instants. Shelter as a reaction once they pass priority. Cool, cool. Hello? There we go. Block it all out. I think they have 1 Felling left, if I'm correct. There's 1 there. And none more in here, so yeah, 1 more Felling left in the deck. Boom. Nice, clean, full block. Pass it back. There are my dig up dinners, that's pretty nice. Probably won't end up getting to use them right now, but that's alright. Oh, we'll see. Grasp, yep. Grasp, pitch, Rune Rager. Autumn's Touch. I'm happy to see them playing this instead of pitching it. Definitely AB3. Probably AB1 here as well. Get that to the bottom, and then block this with the E-Strike. Dig up dinner, swing club. could play Dick Up Dinner, but I don't know. I don't think my ratios are super great now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 out of 42. That's not great odds. I think it's exactly 1/3. Yeah, it's exactly 1/3. Well, not anymore with that Easter egg on the bottom, or in the graveyard. But that's alright, we'll just swing it instead. I probably want to wait to play these until I see my Remembrance so I can shuffle in some of those Barragings to make my ratios a bit better. There's a Shelter. Good with me. Oh, never mind. They're just going to take it. Also good with me. Hey, look, Remembrance. Oh, maybe they did want to do that. Okay. Playing channel out. Okay. Felling. That is fine with me. I probably just put... Oh, they didn't activate Grasp either. Probably put Remembrance on the bottom. Maybe I do Yellow Beat Down. No, I'll just block with the Barragings. That's fine with me. Boom, put that on the bottom. Block for 6, taking 5 down to 13. Let's see, how many books do they have left? 1 book used. I think I'll actually Arsenal the... No, I will. They won't see the plow for a little bit, so I'm fine putting the hole in the Arsenal. They might want to play that book to keep their channel around for a little bit longer. Just pass it back to them. Ah, called it. Look at that. And now we hope that they don't plow under me. Grasp gets an activation. That's good. Okay. Probably pitch the Arc Smash to it. Flourish there. It's a little... Rune Rager is going to come in for 6, I believe. So, really great place to just play the line. I'll pitch the Arc Smash. I can assume that they're probably just going to come in with their weapon after this. If they end up giving me space here, I'll just play Dig Up Dinner and then Arsenal Unmovable. If not, I'll just block with the Ripple Away and then swing Club, Arsenal the Unmovable. There's the Tunic. Yep, they're gonna definitely swing the blade at me. So yeah, block with the Ripple Away and then do exactly what I was just saying. Unmovable is a lot less awkward now that I have a lot more blues in my deck, a much higher blue density. And that is another thing that is really good about this deck into Florian, is that as the game goes on and they start utilizing their Grasp more, you have more blues left in your deck. So it's a lot easier to combat the Rune Chance. Canopy Shelter. I remember seeing this and being like, oh, that's going to be dangerous next cycle. Get their 2 Mites. Pretty good timing to put the Unmovable in Arsenal if they're getting Might tokens here with the channel. So they're at least going to be attacking for 5 with whatever they send, or 6, because the min is 1. But if they attack with like a red Rune Rager, Unmovable gets a ton of value here. Trot along. Yep. Grasp. I'm assuming it's probably, yeah, Reaping Blade first. So that's going to come in for 5. I will AB1 here, pitching the Ripple away. 1, 1. And just in case it's a Plow Under, I'll probably use the Unmovable right here. I'll pitch the Wrecker Romp just in case I want to use the Warmonger's Diplomacy. Again, probably unlikely. I'm most likely pitching it, but there's a chance. There's a Truce. I would much rather they draw a card instead of gain 3 life, because that's just more value out of it. If they draw a card, like, yeah, they can use more cards in their deck, but that's not actually gaining them more deck value. I'd probably just Pack Hunt here. Pack Hunt is a little bit... I'm getting 6 value out of it instead of 3 value out of it, so I'm fine attacking with it if I have the space. They Rootbound Carapace. Yep, they go down to 13, means I can gain life if I draw that Heart of Fyendal back up, which is super nice. That's just going to come in for 1, so definitely good to start ABing this. I might put the Pommel in front of it. I think that makes sense. Might have been better to take it, but yeah, it would have been better to take it. But here, I'm just going to block 3. I'm okay taking 4 down to 8, and then swinging my club at them. I'm still definitely winning on the fatigue axis. And even if they take this, they still can't gain life. Another thing with the gaining life thing is it's relevant with the new Earth card. So if you let them gain life, then sometimes it'll make it so that they can put like Arcane Seed's life back in their deck. So definitely important to be cognizant of what's going on here. Grasp, that's going to come in for 1. I'm probably just taking it. I will definitely AB this with the Heart. I love gaining I've already gained 2 value out of this card this game, and I might gain another value later. What's coming in? Oh yeah, the Might tokens, gotcha. Block with the Midas for sure. Midas won't do anything for me in this matchup. It blocks 3. It's great. And is this going to be a Plow Under? This is about to be a Plow Under, isn't it? Oh, I called it. Coming in for 6. I probably just block for 3. I probably block for 6 here. Easy. 18 to 11 here, and I still have Remembrance in my deck. Oh, that's funny. Let's do some real quick calculations. Well, assuming that they don't try to end my life here. Let's see, 4, 4, 3. That's 11 plus 4. If they have a D-React in hand, then it's different. But if they have a direct in Arsenal, and then that gets kind of ruined. I could check their graveyard, see how many they have left. They have one shelter left in their deck, right? Yeah, they have one more shelter left in their deck, so I don't think it's time yet. So I'll just AB1, AB1, block 3, and then I'll Arsenal the next barraging that I see. Because now we got 3 lined up here. Swing in. They take it. Cool, cool. Oh, they don't. They use their D-React. Alrighty. Let's see. Alright. Pass it back to them. Alright, there's the barrage I'm going to be putting in Arsenal, most likely. Yeah, pitch the dig up dinner, block with this, pitch the hold the line. 1. Block for 3. Yeah, and now they're really lacking some power cards. Swing in with the club. Sorry, swing, not sing. This game is definitely demonstrating that you'll need to play fast with your opponent. Definitely learn, oh my god, learn your deck first. And make sure your opponent knows that they'll have to play fast as well. But I mean, in scenarios like this, your opponent will probably recognize that they have lost, and should, quote-unquote, concede to you. Okay. Okay, so they're probably going to get a Felling back or something. Assuming they have it in their graveyard. They do. They got all 3 in there. Swarming Gloomveil, interesting. So grasp. Into a Reaping Blade, cool, cool. Block 1. Good time to play my dig up dinner. Because I will be gaining the life if I hit. There's a very good possibility that I will not hit with the dig up dinner, but even if that's the case, then that's all right with me. I do know that they will not draw the Swarming Gloomveil next turn, so maybe if I see a defensive card, I'll want to put that in Arsenal instead of the barraging. Dig up dinner. We'll see. I did not get anything. I still don't know if I'm able to shuffle or not here. Like I don't know if the shuffling is reliant on if you hit or not. I guess we'll find out. And I don't. Talishar is not a judge, even in that scenario. Turn is ended. See what they do here. All blues here. Very nice. Everbloom Life. discard their fruits for only 2 value, and then do the Everbloom Life. Maybe it's another Swarming, I assume? Nope, Plowwinder. Okay. That's not too bad. Might be correct to play the Warmongers since they'll have the Swarmings in their hand. Maybe I roll Scabs. I mean, I'm still not losing to Fatigue, so I probably roll Scabs, see if I can club and then Warmongers. Scabs. 3. Okay, so we're just gonna play out the Warmongers. Hooray. We're gonna choose War. Alright, that comes in. Rootbound is pitched. So let's think. Probably block 3 here. And then we'll keep the heart in our hand so that if they get the swarming, we can still take 1 and then AB with the Heart of Findall. So I basically pitch 4 with the heart. Or something like that. And again, if I was better at keeping track of what was in their arsenal, I could potentially just win on the spot here by doing the... Oh wait, I couldn't have done that because of Warmongers, but... If I hadn't played Warmongers, I could have Barrage and Beatdown, Bam Bam, Barrage and Beatdown, Swing Club. Alrighty, let's see their pop-off turn here. Grasp, cool. Okay, there's a swarming for sure. I think I pitch the heart here, even though I'm not getting the value. Like I said, I might have been. Just in case they like really pop off, I still want to make sure I have blocking cards in my deck. This does not actually have an on-hit, so I will block this. I think I'll block it with the Dig Up Dinner. Yeah. I'm assuming I'm probably about to get plowed under. Nope, just Reaping Blade apparently. Block for 3. Now with that swarming out of the deck, I don't think there's any more actual pressure they can put on us. Definitely going to be drawing a Remembrance next turn. Hello, opponent. Okay. Turn is ended. Attack with Romping Club. Cool. They shelter. That's fine with me. the Remembrance. They're going to activate their Grasp. That's all good with me. Flourish. And then now's the Plow Under. Yep. Cool, cool. We're going to AB1. Then we're going to, when they pass priority, I need you to pass priority. AB1, that's going to hit me, come in for 8, I believe. Yes. So not that the hit matters, but I want to get value out of my armor. I'm going to block 2, 6, and then Remembrance. Boom, boom, boom. Remembrance everything back in. I'm just going to grab the Barragines, particularly the yellow ones, and I guess this blue one here too. I'm not going to spend too much time. And boom. Just going to pass it back to them. Hello, Heart of Findall. Two defensive cards. Pretty nice. We're going to AB1. AB1. I did this incorrectly. I should have blocked with the Bam Bam instead of the Barragine, but that's okay. It's not going to matter. I'm going to fatigue them, like deterministically. Probably IP just to swing Romping Club, keep the heart in hand. Swing in here. They're probably just going to root bound this. There's not much else they can do with that. Oh, they won't. They'll well-grounded it. That's fine. We will see. Boom. Okay. Autumn's Touch here. If they arsenal the root bound. Actually, this is game, isn't it? Because I intimidate 3 times, they'll have 3 cards left in deck. Yeah, this is game. 0. 0. Comes in for 5 damage. I'll just give him my boots and my chest. Technically should have activated Tunic to stop an Arcane, but I'm going to win this game on this next turn. I'm also going to gain a life from Heart of Findall. Look at that value. Intimidate. 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 Club. Gain a life. Swing in for 13. I don't think they can stop that. Good game. Alright. Well, that was a slugfest of a game. I definitely think this probably could have gone faster had my opponent known that I was going to fatigue them from the beginning. And also with the internet things, like people will slam down their D-Reacts a lot quicker in person. But yeah, I really like this deck. Even though I only had 5 cards left in deck, like, I definitely was going to win this game deterministically. But yeah, cool beans. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around all the way through, thank you especially. I know this was a super long video. I had a super long deck tech, and then the games are always going to take a very long time. But yeah, let me know if you guys take this to any events, and if you do well with it. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them in the comments. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, please. Subscribe if you want to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.